All right, here we have NSHoSeo Salvation as the blue Terran on the top side spawn of Metropolis. He is the winner of that previous game, the opener for NSHoSeo versus Empire. And way over here on the left side, we have the new player for Empire. It is Braddock.
So Braddock a little bit more aggressive than Happy generally. Braddock goes for a lot more drop play. Happy did go for a little bit, none of it particularly successful last game. But this is almost definitely a pick where they saw something that Salvation did that Braddock is good against, because you usually don't put another of the same race after your player loses unless there's something that your player does in order to take advantage of what you just saw. So Braddock had a whole game to watch Salvation's TVT, and now he can adjust his play style in order to abuse what Salvation did last game.
Yeah, that sounds like an accurate portrayal of what's going on here. Braddock obviously is really, really good at TVT. He's played just a ton of great games that I can remember throughout our own tournaments. I remember IPL 2, he had some just incredible TVT games.
He had a lot of good ones.
But him and Strelok both, I mean, Braddock and Strelok sometimes get confused because of their similar names and their similar play styles and stuff like that, but both of them have been playing incredible TVT for so long that I really expect him to do fine against Salvation. I mean, Salvation, again, we just don't know a whole lot about. We've seen one game out of him so far.
But we do know
didn't really have a whole lot of holes in it.
He is going CC first on Metropolis on low ground, so not the riskiest thing in the world, since obviously Braddock, we can see he's going rack CC, so it's probably going to work out for him. Not really sure if there's a better, which one of those builds is better. But yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to get away with this because Braddock's not doing any kind of 2-racks proxy shenanigans or anything. That's
true. He'll have time to get that CC up and most likely a bunker down as well before Braddock is able to show up with anything crazy, unless he did a bit-by-bit build or something like that, which obviously he doesn't need to because he's a way more solid player than that. Yeah. We do have 2 racks actually coming up quickly for Salvation, so Salvation might actually be the one trying to be a bit more aggressive this time after he gets that command center up and running.
Yeah, we'll see if Braddock decides to build second racks or gas first to try to go straight in a factory, because that could really affect if one of the players is going to be aggressive or not.
Yeah, right now nobody has any refineries started yet. We've just got mineral-only builds out of both players so far, and I think that's an amazing part of the Terran race, that you can actually have multiple builds where no one builds gas at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Zerg kind of does that.
Kind of for a little bit, and Protoss never.
Yeah, but you can actually build an entire deadly force
with no gas.
As Terran with no gas, just by mules and tons of barracks. Protoss can kind of do it with Mass Gateways Zealot, but that hasn't happened since beta.
Yeah. So still no refineries, so it's going to be barracks play. Braddock, he has 500. Wow, he is actually double expanding to the bottom right. That is ballsy with 1 rack.
So he's expanding to the bottom spawn. There's no way Salvation is ever going to scout this.
No, this will never be seen.
And it's kind of crazy, actually, that, I mean, in Brood War, you'd have players checking every base constantly to make sure that there were no hidden bases or anything like that. But also, Brood War didn't have the same sort of spawn mechanics. You could spawn right next to each other. Usually, in a 1v1 map, you'd have something like 6 spawns, but you could spawn anywhere randomly, not cross-position only, or not in only one of 4 places or whatever. So being aware of where your opponent is expanding was a lot more important. But right now, I mean, we're 2.5 years into StarCraft 2, and players still don't check for this very often.
And actually, I remember this has happened time and time again. Axlab is kind of well known for doing stuff like this, just kind of putting nexuses in hidden places because people just don't really ever scout it. And even against him, when he's known for doing it, people still don't do it, and he still gets away with putting these thirds in really weird places. And Salvation is not going to have a big enough army to kill Braddock, and he's not going to scout this, so he is going to be in really, really good shape.
It's interesting you're talking about hiding nexuses. Seed actually did that in a PvP against Parting in the LGIM versus StarTale series. Yeah. And all he did differently than Parting was hide a CC, it let him get a Colossus out a smidge faster, and stomp force fields and end up winning the game.
Wow.
Like, that's
that's the difference.
That's really all he needed was a couple minutes mining from that hidden nexus.
And in mirror matches, that's all it takes, because by the time Salvation gets across, there's no bunker for Braddock, but he's going to have at least a number of Marines to combat that. And pretty much identical builds other than that. I mean, we've got Combat Shield for both players coming at the same time. Braddock's Factory is a little bit later. He hasn't actually started it yet. He's going for more bio-heavy.
Actually, yeah, both players actually just going to 3 racks. No one's even built a factory yet.
Well, no. So it looked like SalvatioN did build a factory somewhere. I see
it's way off to the side.
Yeah, it's way off to the side. So he's building siege mode. But he also saw Braddock just put down double engineering bay. So he's going heavy bio. Going to be doing double upgrades and no tanks for quite some time.
Kass is excited. He's just like saying things in chat, and Braddock just happens to be doing them. He knows the build already, though. Obviously, these guys play against each other all the time with such incredible Terran players on the team. I can imagine their TVT is well honed. I can't believe Happy actually did some of the things that he did last game. He was so on top of it for so long, and then just kind of flaked out at the end. But I mean, yeah, these guys I'm sure practice together all the time when you've got such good Terran players on the team.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that is really a lot of really good Eastern European Terrans on the same team.
Yep, and Kass, Happy, and Braddock are all 3 incredibly good players. So any of them actually I would be expecting to be able to take a game.
The siege mode might make the difference in this. There's no stem for either player, which is kind of necessary to pick off tanks like this. And while he can repair this bunker, which I imagine is what's going to happen.
He can splash down the SCVs.
Yeah, he can splash down the XCVs if he target fires. So I'll be really interested to see in how Braddock responds to this. He might pull SCVs, you know, kind of eat the tank fire for a bit and then kill it off, because he does have a higher Marine count now than SalvatioN right here. You can just see visually there's more of them. But now, wow, second tank now is going to make this really hard to break.
And they stopped repairing because they actually hit max HP. So that can happen sometimes.
Oh.
You forget to start repairing again after it hits max HP. So
wow, but they
really
are gonna save this just barely. But Bragg's going to have to make a move soon, because I mean, yeah, as Kass says, he's waiting for 1-1 upgrades, but he's not going to be able to wait for stem, I don't think. I think when a 3rd tank gets here, this bunker is almost definitely going to go down.
Yeah, if a 3rd tank shows up, he can definitely just start splashing the SCVs easily, and obviously get this bunker down itself a lot faster. There, you see the SCVs are starting to die now as he's just focusing on getting them killed off. 3rd tank hasn't arrived yet, but it's only a matter of time. This is a lot of Marines already. Braddock does have
a wow, he's just going to go in. I don't like this at all. He's going to lose a few Marines, but he's building... Braddock was smart enough to build another bunker back, so he's probably not going to lose the game outright here, I don't think. But oh wow, he's actually going for a trade.
Yeah. We're gonna keep tabs on that as he arrives at SalvatioN's base. But for right now, SalvatioN has free reign. He's probably thinking, where the hell are Braddock's units? Because he hasn't seen.
Yeah, he has to know that something is up right now. Well, he's not moving in now. He's just waiting at the watchtower. I don't know what Braddock is doing right now.
Oh, there is a siege on the high ground?
No, just more Marines.
Oh. I thought I saw, okay, the blast actually was his own blast hitting his own Marines.
This is really risky. Braddock has to make a move soon. He is cutting off reinforcements by being there. Oh, I see. So he says, okay, you're on 2 base. Well, I'm on 2 base too. So he's just going to let him have that position and cut off reinforcements that come in. Yep. And then once stem's finished, which is now, he can just sandwich this army and kill it off.
That's true. He is going to be able to break this. Was that a medevac, or did he just run right up there? He did actually.
No, he just ran right up there.
Oh, God.
There's the 2 medevacs. Wow. And now he's going to have the sandwich, and he's actually going to be able to clean this up.
Yeah, there were still only 2 tanks. I was expecting more that entire time, but instead he only brought 2 and left 2 back at home. Obviously, when he couldn't spot Braddock's army, he decided it was probably safer to leave those back at home, like he did in the game against Happy. He knew that Happy's army was out there somewhere, so he just started reinforcing back at home. Unfortunately for him, Braddock actually has a supply lead now, a 1-1 upgrades, hidden command center. SalvatioN's still sitting on 1-0 for a short time, and this is quite a lot of Marines with medevac support. Now, I don't think that SalvatioN's actually got any medevacs.
I don't think SalvatioN has medevacs.
Oh, there's first 2.
Okay, there's first 2 medevacs come out, but yeah, he's behind in upgrades. He does have tanks.
Tanks will definitely help.
But oh wow, this 3rd could go down. He's not going to be able to repair this fast enough with all those Marines. He's not going to be able to get it away. There's no tanks here. That 3rd is, yeah, done.
Yeah, instant kill of that orbital command. Both refineries cancel. He's probably cancel his turret too. Nope, doesn't do that. And so lots and lots and lots of minerals just lost there.
While he might kill Braddock's army here, and wow, this is actually going to be really close. He's ahead on upgrades, 1-1 versus 1-0. Yeah, and SalvatioN's going to have to go back, and good damage by Braddock. Now he's just going to lift off and go away. Yeah.
Except he didn't.
Okay, well, you know. It's okay. He loses everything. Anyway. But that's okay because he's actually up in supply. So, oh wow, did he see it? Did he just miss it?
Now.
Okay, now he's... Yeah, now he's going to see it, and now he realizes how far behind he is, you know. Then that's why Braddock was able to stall, and now he's just like, oh, I got to go. So now he's just going to go try to siege up, do damage, but Braddock is finally now getting factory, and siege mode is researching that with one tank on the way.
Yep, Braddock was ahead in bio that whole way through, and now he's going to be able to catch up on tech and actually be able to do these tank battles like we saw in the last game against Happy. We do have SalvatioN sort of looping down now with the bulk of his army. These 4 tanks are going to make a huge difference by the time they arrive at Braddock's base, because as you can see in the production tab, Braddock's still just adding on barracks. No tanks in production, even though he is getting siege. Right now, this SCV scout just checking out everything there is to see. We've got a drop actually occurring now for SalvatioN coming in, and there's nothing here to defend it, so Braddock is going to lose a lot of SCVs.
Wow, yeah, all the advantage that he just had is going to go away with this drop. Let's see how many workers he actually kills before Braddock gets back. Yeah, he's just going to clean this up finally. Oh, wow, nice lift up. Wow, very, very nice.
Yep, he's doing the same thing Braddock just tried to do on the opposite side of the map, but now he's actually done this long enough that he can move in with the bulk of his forces. Braddock does have some Marines to slow this down, but the bulk of his force is still just hanging out by that 3rd base. That drop is going to continually come back in and try to kill SCVs. Braddock looks like he's in a really scary position right now.
Yeah, he just got like yo-yo stringed back to his 3rd base. I mean, he just came with the medevac and he brought his whole army, and he really did not need to do that. He threw away such a big advantage, and now he's going to lose all these SCVs and maybe Marines. No, he does clean that up, but there's a lot of reinforcements. Oh, this is actually really smart. He's just cutting off the reinforcements because he knows he can't take on that army.
Yeah, but now he's going to lose so much production.
Yeah, his production because he doesn't have anything at home.
Yeah, and he did save his orbital finally after pulling all these SCVs to be able to do that, but now there's a tank position here for SalvatioN. He's losing production facilities here to just a handful of Marines now. There are a bunch of tanks on the low ground. I'm surprised he's not using them just yet, but now he is actually getting in position. He's got these medevacs here to be able to lift. There's a ton of SCVs there able to be killed off. Braddock finally did push them out of his main. Now
Marine genocide coming. Yeah, the good sandwich, but this is going to be really close.
Actually, no, he should be able to.
Oh, wow, he actually cleans it up. Oh, yeah, the 2-2 upgrades against no upgrades. Oh, he has 1-0 on the tanks, but that's a lot of reinforcements, too.
SalvatioN still has another huge force coming, and Braddock only has a handful of Marines.
1 tank. Yeah, that's not enough. What's the income tab at like? Let's see.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, actually dead even on workers. And now that SalvatioN has his 3rd backup, it's actually looking like a pretty even game, but Braddock's going to have to get some more tanks up.
SalvatioN trying to find the soft spot in here. Oh, if he can focus that tank, he doesn't even get either one of them, man.
Close. If he had gotten that tank, though, that would actually be pretty good. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there from SalvatioN. Loses almost all of his Marines. Oh, Braddock, careful. He's actually going to get both the tanks, though, because the Marine backbone is not there to support.
Well, Braddock is fighting back. He's got 119 supply against 106 now.
Oh, but another drop, and he's going to lose a lot more workers over at this 3rd.
And some Marines.
And some Marines. Yeah, all the SCVs are going to die. There's nothing close, and he might actually lose this orbital. It's going to be really close.
Most likely will lose the orbital. There's nothing there to repair it. It is going to burn down if nothing else. And yeah, he can actually get out of there. He could get out of there. Is he going to? No, he's definitely not. Okay.
Why? No. Why would I do that?
Yeah, some more mistakes from the blue player. You see Koss actually talking about it as well. You can kind of read some pro insight there while we cast. Where they're talking about, you know, how this TVT is actually going. Wait, this map no islands? I guess they played on a version without islands. Sometimes that happens. There are like a billion versions of every map, and as long as both players are okay with it, we just
let them do it. Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, game reset, almost dead even in every aspect of it, because Braddock actually did build a 3rd to replace that hidden base. Both players on 3 base. Tank count is about even.
Oh, don't attack into that.
Wow,
why would you do that?
That's not good. Both players making a ton of. Oh, wow! Tons of mistakes on both sides right there.
No.
Just bad position, bad rallies on both armies, and now SalvatioN finds himself down a lot of supply.
That positioning was just awful for SalvatioN walking into the meat grinder. You can see the supply now 135 to 104. Braddock has to feel happy about that. He didn't even have to do anything. That didn't even require a micro.
He didn't have to micro at all. Just kind of walked through a tank field. And wow, now a drop up here by Braddock almost kills the CC.
Oh, and he drops 2 mules right in front of the Marines. Okay. But either way, Braddock actually fighting back in a big way. He's got kind of lucky, I have to say, with that.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky.
That weird event that just went on in the middle there. He's not upgrading his tanks anymore. He's just focusing on bio because that's what he has the production
check
for.
the units lost because that's a lot of workers. Wow.
61 workers killed by Salvation, 22 workers
and yet
killed
he's
by
still behind in economy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That hidden base did wonders for Braddock early on, and now, ooh. What is Salvation doing with that? I don't. He's suiciding his Marines over and over again, and all that really good TVT positioning that we saw in the last game, not at all in this game.
Yeah, he's just scurrying around with his Marines, trying to fan out and, you know, avoid the tank splash. But there's so many tanks here. That's actually really hard to do anyway. But Braddock go behind Xil'Naga and drop on main. Oh.
And he is.
Apparently he's going to do that.
Ask and you shall receive, Koss.
All right, Koss just wants to go end the game. All right, we'll see if he pays attention and and just tries to end the game here.
Oh, he does have a sensor tower, but no turrets. So everything is out of position. Oh, he is going to get there in time, so this drop is going to do pretty much literally nothing.
Yeah, the drop is not going to do a whole lot. There is another medevac, but nothing in there, so that drop does get cleaned up, no problem.
Oh.
But here is a much larger drop this time.
He's going to have to be really careful, though, because this is all being seen, and he might, let's see how much he... Yeah, he doesn't get any of the medevacs, and this whole thing is going to unload, and he's going to have so many units in the main now.
Oh my god, Braddock's entire army is in the main now of Salvation. Salvation was in his position earlier. Salvation's actually doing a little bit of a counter drop as well, but not paying attention to it, obviously, since he is in so much duress.
Gonna lose all of his production structures.
Yeah, I'm surprised Salvation didn't do the same thing to Braddock earlier when he was in his main. He didn't kill nearly enough production structures, but now Braddock is even going to fight that back. He's got SCVs repairing and tanks trying to slowly pick off the Marines, so he should be fine there. He still has a very large standing force.
And I don't know what Salvation is doing just going into this. You can't do it like this at all.
Yeah,
this is
foregone conclusion at this point. Salvation GG's, and Braddock fought back from a crazy, crazy position there.